What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. So every single card from Power of the Elements has just been announced and confirmed, and we got some new TCG exclusives with some OCG imports, as well as some other interesting cards that I will be covering today. But of course, before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And now let's get right into it. So the first team that I'll be covering will be the POTE, which apparently is pronounced fish. It makes no sense, whatever. So yeah, it's just a bunch of fish monsters. So POTE of the Deep Beyond, level 10 water fish synchro effect monster. That's like the one that has been announced before. So I'm not gonna read it, but yeah, it's kind of so hard to freaking achieve, man. I don't know, it doesn't look too great. Alright, so this is, I think, a new draw card because I don't remember seeing this in the OCG version of Power of the Elements. So Moray of Avarice, normal spell card. Banish one face-up fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster you control. So that is the cost. Draw 2 cards, and you can only activate one Moray of Avarice per turn. So if you get ashed, obviously you can't use another one. And you have to banish for cost, so it's not super ideal. It's a normal spell card. You can play this maybe in Tier Elements because every single Tier Element monster outside of Reno Heart is an aqua monster. But you're banishing, you're not really like sending it to the grave. And also, either way, it's like a cost, so it wouldn't trigger its effect. And all of that just to draw 2 cards. So you're using a card, and you're getting rid of a monster you control just to get back your money. It doesn't really look super good, especially since this card can be very bad in duplicates. So, I don't know. Personally, I don't think this card will see much play. Paces, Light of the POTE, level 2 water fish tuner effect monster. You can banish this card you control, special summon one fish monster from your hand, except itself, during the standby phase of the next turn. After this card was banished, that actually includes your opponent's standby phase, and it doesn't necessarily have to be banished by its own effect, so you can actually banish it with Moray of Avarice. So I guess that's a indirect synergy, even though this is not like the POTE theme. You can special summon this banished card. Alright, so very similar to, I think, DD, I forgot the monster, but there are a bunch of DD monsters that actually have this kind of effect. And by DD, I'm not talking about like D/D, but rather D.D. It's not really an archetype. During your opponent's main phase, if this card is special summoned this turn, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. Synchro summon one fish synchro monster using this card you control. That's kind of fishy, man. We don't really have a lot of fish synchro monsters, so not a lot of options, not gonna lie. And you can only use each effect of this underwhelming card once per turn. Yeah, no. Shift Fairy of the POTE, level 2, blah blah blah, tuner. You can banish this card from the grave. Then target one fish monster you control. It gains 500 attack until the end of the turn. I guess you don't really care about like its actual effect, but rather the fact that you're banishing it from the grave. And then again, during the standby phase of the next motherfucking turn, you revive it back, but goddamn, you have to wait so long. During your opponent's main phase, again, exact same effect. Literally, just very underwhelming. Alright, Enoch, Sentry of the POTE, level 6, water fish, 21. 0 defense. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one of your banished level 4 or lower fish monster, special summon it in defense but negate its effects. You can banish one fish monster from your hand or face a field. Add one POTE trap from your deck to your hand. Alright, cool. So that's actually not too bad, but it's not, I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, it really depends on the POTE traps as well. Ascan, the Beacorn, the POTE. Level 8 water fish synchro, actually generic, so that's actually really interesting. If this card is synchro summon, you can target one fish monster you control and one card your opponent controls and banish them. And if this card is banished, you can banish one fish monster from a grave, special summon this card. I actually really like that. The only issue is that, yeah, it doesn't banish itself for cost, so it can still lose to Veiler. And if you don't really play a lot of fish monsters in your deck, like generically, the second effect will not trigger. So, yeah, this is obviously only, like, really good if you're playing POTE, but if you're not, then it ranges anywhere between absolute dog shit to meh. So, I don't know about that. Anyways, we got a field spell. Hopefully it searches on activation. That would be nice. The most distant, deepest depths, just something. Field spell where you control a fish synchro monster. This card cannot be destroyed or banished by card effects. You can only use each effects of the field spell once per turn. I'm not even going to bother reading. You can banish one fish monster from your hand or grave. Add one, yes, monster from your deck to your hand. And if a fish monster is normal or special summoned to your field, while this card is in your grave, oh, okay, cool. Except during the damage step, you can target one fish monster you control, banish it. And if you do, add this card to your hand. So, it's kind of like a orchestrated babble, and the Ad Ignistra field spell can recycle itself back from the graveyard, which I really appreciate. The card is not too bad. You can banish a fish monster from her grave generically to add a POTE monster. It's decent. Alright, I'll take that, I suppose. POTE Chain, so that is right now the only card that you can actually search with the level 6 boy. Normal trap, banish one face-up fish monster you control. Special summon one of your GOTY monster that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard with a different original name for the monster banished to activate this card. But banishing will leave the field. You can only activate one GOTY chain per turn. I really don't understand why this is a trap card because it doesn't hurt the opponent. It only helps you. This could have been like a normal spell card, honestly, because it's once per turn anyways. So I'm actually really disappointed by this card. I was really expecting better. This is very, very shit for a trap card in 2022. So yeah, just overall, I don't really have much positive things to say about this this new archetype. Whatever. Alright, for the other cards now. Vanguard of the Underground Emperor, level 8 Earth Reptile. So, Ogdoadic, maybe if a monster is sent from the hand to the graveyard, while this card is in the grave, it doesn't necessarily have to be by a card effect. So you can, like, discard it, and it will trigger. You can special summon this card, but place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field, and that's a hard once per turn. So, it's a level 8, revives itself back, super easy to foolish, because of obviously an Ogdoadic, you have like 10 billion ways of foolishing reptile monsters, so I actually think this is really freaking fantastic, and it will see play in decks that can potentially abuse it. So yeah, definitely very respectable. Now we have Pit Knight early, Link to Fire Cybers, upper right and right, so very, very sketchy as zones. 2 effect monsters, so relatively generic. When a monster this card points to activate its effects, except during the damage step, quick effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls until the end of the turn, change its attack to 0, also negate its effects. During the end phase of this card is in the grave because it was destroyed by battle by card effect and sent there this turn. You can special summon this card, and both effects are once per turn. I don't know. I guess it's like cool if you can destroy yourself because you can make it go from extra monster zone to main monster zone, and then you trigger the effect of one of the monsters that it's being pointed to, and you get an interruption by being able to like negate a monster effect your opponent. Whatever. It's not that great, but it's all right, I suppose. Mimesis Elephant, normal trap. Special summon this card as an effect monster. Beast Earth level 2. This Konami really trying to push the level 2. This card is also treated as a trap, so I don't know, potential Eldritch support with a Statue of Anguish pattern and stuff. This card is in the monster zone. You can declare one type and one attribute and target one face-up monster on the field. It becomes that type and attribute until the end of the turn. Could be like a potential interruption against a few decks that really need to like, they need like specific types and attributes. Like I need to be a water to do this, or I need to be a freaking, I don't even know, an aqua like Tearlamance, or I need to be a level, no, sorry, no, it doesn't change the level. This card is alright, but it's not like fantastic. The other imports are Loris, Lady of Lament, Morphotronic Telephone, Gadget Gamer, Scannon, Earphone, Power Tool, Braver Dragon, Morphotronic Converter, Life Extreme. Are they actually OCG imports, or were they already in Power of the Elements? I actually completely forgot. Anyways, we also have the full set for the Power of the Elements set now. The full spoiler for the set. So, except for 3 Starlight Rares. So, Asa, Destiny Will Destroy, Phoenix Enforcer. So those are the 2 first Starlight Rares. I believe that Malpha is also going to be a Starlight Rare, and potentially Splight Blue or something like that. And for the Secret Rares, we have Goatee of the Deep Beyond, Sprite Brew. They actually changed the name from Splight to Sprite. You're going to see a lot of memes with Sprite, 7-Up, Coke, Pepsi in the next couple of days. Exorcister Martha. That's like the biggest massacre of a name I've ever seen. Like Malpha was perfect, but I don't know why they why they had to freaking change it to Martha. Obviously, it's a translation of, you know, coming from fans, the Malpha thing, but still. Anyways, Kurikara Divine Incarnate, that's the reverse Nibiru card. Kaleido Heart, that's the big fusion monster. Now the small one, which is Kit Kalos. Shura-King, the rank 3 monster. Instant Contact, this card sucks. Primitive Planet, Perlerino, that's the field spell for Tearlaments. Ultimate Slayer, that is Artemate Slay. So yeah, that's the normal spell card that bounces back a monster your opponent controls to the extra deck by sending a card from her extra deck to the graveyard that matches the type. This card is ridiculously overpowered. I already made like a couple of videos on this, but I can make another one if you guys are interested because there's just so much you can do with this card. It's so freaking good. So good. I love this card. Anyways, Draco Utopian Aura. And that's it for the secret rares. So Draco Utopian Aura is just a counter trap that negates monster effects on the field. And if you want to, you can banish a card from the hand and then revive back that monster that you just negated back to your field, but its effects aren't negated. So I really don't think this is good, and it's once per turn, so Solemn Strike is always better than this card. I really can't see any reason to play this card over Solemn Strike. For the Ultra Rares, we have Therion Irregular, which is kind of shit. Reno Heart, which is the level 4 that Foolish is. Venus Something of the Flourishing Hills. Bruh. Asa the Earth Channeler. This card's not great. Shining Neo Swingman, Kid Kalos, this card is a really good card. Gigantic Sprite, obviously an extremely good card. Sprite Elf, Scareclaw, Lightheart. Think that's the Link one? No, actually, I don't think so. Sprite Starter, Broken card, Favored Contact. I don't know what that... Anyways, Garura, Wings of Resonant Life, Moray of Avarice, Paces, Light of the Goatee. So, if you get some of these cards, you're not gonna be super happy the value from your Ultra Rares. But apart from that, for the most part, the cards in the Ultra Rare section are pretty freaking fantastic. And in the Secret Rare section, we have Blue, Martha, Kaleido Heart, Ashura King maybe, and especially Ultimate Slayer and Primitive Planet. So these cards are gonna be like the super chase cards. So half of the Secret Rares are gonna get you a lot of money. I want to say Kaleido Heart will be the cheapest one out of all the good ones because you only need one in Tearlaments and you don't really need any more copies in any other deck. But yeah, Ultimate Slayer is the new Forbidden Droplet, so it's probably gonna be a $100 chase card. It really is that good. Alright, for the super rares, we have Spirit of Neo, Sprite Jet, Therion, Empress Alesia, Albaz the Ashen, Tearlament Sharon. Okay, so I guess they changed it to like Vernulisf. That was like Vernalizer before, so that's why I really don't understand or recognize any of these cards. Even though I actually know pretty much every single monster what they do, I just don't really know them by name. The new Gemini monsters suck, by the way. Circular is only a super. I was expecting it to be like an ultra secret. So that's actually really interesting because Mathmech is going to be really, really good with the new support. Very good. What else is noteworthy? I guess the Vanguard monster is not too bad. Oh, Punjam Dragon Drive is a level 8 monster that searches Psychic Monster level 3. So it's actually really cool in Virtual World if you're splashing the Punk engine. But it's also very insane in Pure Punk. And the field spell is also really good, so you can actually play Pure Punk now. Whereas before, it wasn't like a super logical deck to play, but now it's like, it's kind of freaking sick. Anyways, the other cards, whatever, Scareclaw again. I know the Link one is actually really good. Returnia is Litania, so that's the trap card that double banishes. Really good card. The new Rika card, from what I remember, is actually really good. The field spell, I believe. Yeah, very freaking sick card. Loris, Lady of Lament is pretty ass, and Power Tool Braver is decent and Infernoble. And decks that really want to play equip spells. And for the commons, we've got a couple of pretty decent Sprite monsters. So Pixies is like an Honest. You can play one copy of it in your deck, why not? And then Red and Carrot. So Red is probably a 2-of because it negates monster effects including hand traps. And Carrot is a 1-of, most likely because it only negates spells and traps. So it really is up to you, but I want to say I would play like 1-2-1. A few Tearlaments monsters, they changed the name, so Merly, I think, is Meru. Havnis should be Hafinis, which is the level 3. Meru being in the level 2. And then Melfi, Wally, Penny, what the frick. Their old names were a little better, man. Moki Moki, Edge of Jesus. The name changes are actually killing me here. Oh my god. Mary Melfi's. Oh, that's kind of cute. Sprite Gamma Burst. Okay, they didn't change that at all. Sprite Smashers. Wow, okay. Yeah, so they changed like the Tearlaments and the Vernalizers a lot, but not the Sprite monsters. Only for like one letter. Sprite instead of Splite. Anyways, Tearlaments, Meta Noise, Soliek, which is the Salic, the continuous trap, and then Crime. I guess they just replaced the I with a Y. And then a bunch of garbage cards here. I think the Branded Expulsion is the card that allows you to revive back the Artifact Scythe. So actually, they're gonna make a video about this. And yeah, everything else is kind of dookie from what I can see. Oh yeah, hold on, sorry. The Crawler Monster, Crawler Summa is actually really freaking fantastic. I made a video on this. It really has a lot of potential because you get to summon 2 monsters from your deck with this card. Alright, overall, very, very insane set. Probably the best set that we've gotten this year. And by probably, I mean 100 billion% guaranteed confirm. Let me know, guys, how you feel about Power of the Elements. Do you think it's going to change everything in the meta? I really want to hear your guys' thoughts. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.